For $3,000 and only 2 weeks of prep, spent 3 weeks going all around Japan. That's 9 hours again, raining cats and dogs. Pretty famous car, and in other countries, an exotic one. But for tonight, it feels very, very foreign. This morning is November 10th. It's my 15th day here in Japan, and once again, I'm leaving my Airbnb without seeing my host. Shun is not around, and so I'm seeing myself out. The nice part about this morning is I already booked my trains. I did that right when I arrived. I'm not standing between trains for 7 hours again. So today is a nice leisurely ride from Akita all the way up to Aomori, transition into a new train there, get off at Hakodate, get on another train, and then end up finally in Sapporo. The thing is, it'll still be about 9 hours today. Finally though, I do have a seat, and it's mine. Being that it is early on a Tuesday morning, there's no one else in this train, well, except for this one guy. And as I'm getting on, we make eye contact, and I notice he has the same backpack as me. He's clearly trekking, he's not just going to work. And so I sit down, and he's 4 seats ahead of me up on the other side. We're both on the aisle seats, taking advantage of having a whole row to ourselves. And he looks back at me as I'm like leaning out to see where the cart is. And he kind of motions to me and points at me, and he's, well, what's on my head actually is this hat. So this was my traveling hat, and this is the logo for Mustangs. Pretty famous car, and in other countries, an exotic one, which is weird to an American, let me tell you. But he motioned and was very exuberant about this. This guy knew what Mustangs were, and he was really excited about it. Like, you could tell he wanted to talk about it, but we can't quite communicate. But that transcending the language was phenomenal, and just a great, what a neat feeling. Anyway, I sit down and I wait for my food, and when the cart gets to me, I don't get a chance to order because there's already a bento box being given to me. Well, it turns out, as I look around to see who's done this, that gentleman bought me a local specialty bento box just because he was so excited about us connecting over the hat. Like, once again, not knowing the language is transcended by amazing people. It is hard to explain how lucky I feel on this trip. The best part about being on these trains is they give you opportunity to be pensive, to be contemplative. And I'm a little afraid that I've been overly negative sounding about my trip to Akita. I think what happened with Akita is that it fell victim to the type of trip I've taken. I've gone very wide, but not very deep. Akita begs for and offers to you a lot more to do. If you rented a car, you could go up in the mountains. There's incredible lakes up there. If you show up during the winter, there's incredible snowboarding and skiing and other sports like that. And to enhance what I really enjoyed the most there, the fall colors, Akita is on the west coast of Japan, right? Which is the Sea of Japan there. They have a train that goes along the coast that focuses on displaying to you all of the beautiful fall colors up the mountains with the ocean right there. I would have loved to have done that, but I didn't really have time. I would have spent my whole day, I only had one there. And so this puts Akita in this really unique position, unlike most of the other places, if any, that I've been so far, where I can very easily visualize and be excited about what I would do next time I come. That's a lot to be said, and a great compliment for Akita. You know, I don't remember much about getting off the train in Sapporo, but I do remember rushing out to the car because it is raining cats and dogs. And just like in Sasebo, my hostess showed up to save me from the nighttime and the weather and whisk me off to the Airbnb. But through the rain-slick windows of all this, honestly, Sapporo feels a little odd. The lights don't seem normal. The shapes of the buildings seem normal. To be clear, by normal, I mean unlike any city I've been to in Japan so far. This feels a lot like getting picked up at the airport at LAX after dark. So I'm not really sure what to expect out of the look of Sapporo. Tomorrow I'll know, I guess, but for tonight, it feels very, very foreign. So the year is 1870, and the Japanese government is looking to develop and grow the land that would become modern-day Sapporo. Now, around this time, they're looking for more modern approaches to civil planning and city development. So they reach out to the US government, and under the president, Ulysses S. Grant, some American diplomats and other experts lend their expertise and guidance to the Japanese government. Now, this is really thrilling, right? What does it matter when you're in Sapporo? Well, this is why you kind of just feel it in some of these cities in Hokkaido. There are right angles, wide sidewalks, a city grid. You can walk and look down and see between tons of buildings, and turn left and see tons of buildings. This is a feeling you'll notice when you're in these cities, but it's pretty not obvious unless you know the history. Now, arriving at the Airbnb, it's a little bit different this time. It's also a share house like the place in Osaka, but this time it's more of a working person's share house. So a lot quieter, more respectful. It's about 7 different studios, 1 shared bathroom and shower. There's also this really cool feature they have. Put 400 yen in the cup, put your name on the dry erase board, and the super, the person running the whole share house, living on site, will make breakfast for you in the morning or breakfast for you at night, depending on if you put your name on the board and the money in the cup. So maybe I won't start my day with Family Mart tomorrow. What a fancy day. Tomorrow's not going to be what I expected. I came here to Sapporo, I figured that'd be what I'd do, but I am just reading about, seeing about, compelled to go to a place up the coast called Otaru. They're famous for their glassworks. I haven't seen the ocean yet. I just can't get it out of my head, so that's where I'm going.